Hello there, welcome to my channel. If you want to become a web developer or you want to learn how to code for the very first time, what I usually advise is to start with HTML and CSS because all websites are basically built on HTML. So, the very first thing that I'm going to do is head over to my Visual Studio Code and open it. So, in case if you don't have Visual Studio Code, just you can go to Google and type Visual Studio Code download, and you're gonna find the link. I'm sure it's gonna be the first link to pop up, so it's pretty much easy. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install two extensions. So let me just head over to my extension section. So I'm gonna click here and I'm going to download or install two extensions, which are Live Server and Prettier. You can see I have Prettier here already and I have Live Server, so I do not have to install them again. But it's pretty much easy to, once you just search here, you go ahead and you download these extensions, and it's pretty much useful. So now let's just get straight to the points, to the project here. So I'm gonna have to minimize this here. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new folder. So all you have to do is you come, right click, then select new folder, then you can name it whatever you want to name it. Literally anything. John's website. So yeah, I'll just leave it at this. Then all I will do is I will drag it and drop it into the Visual Studio Code, and just like that it's gonna open, and it's gonna load inside Visual Studio Code exactly. So let's just head over to this section where it says John's website. So let's go on to that side, and view, it has to be where it's written John's website. So yeah, just select this option and click on it to add new file. So it could be any file, but in this case we're trying to create a HTML document. So in this option you're going to type any name that you want to give your HTML. So can name it anything you want. I can just come I can just come and give it batman.html, batman.html, and this is valid as long as it ends with .html. You can literally name it anything that you want to name it. So instead of naming it batman.html, you can just name it index.html, cause like the most common way of naming your HTML file, the primary way. So this icon that you see here, the less than and the greater than, is just a sign of HTML. So once you create it, it will appear over there. Now let's create our first HTML document. So the very first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna create a HTML tag. So HTML, it works with tags, and the tags act as parents and children. So we're gonna create a tag called HTML tag. It's gonna start with a less than sign, then we're gonna write HTML, then it's gonna end with a greater than sign, which is gonna like to make an opening tag. So yeah, as we just put the greater than sign, Visual Studio Code helped us to bring in a closing tag. So this closing tag is what shows that the tag has been closed. So let me just hit enter here. So here, let me now explain. So in HTML, everything has to be wrapped into the HTML file. So for example, as I tap this, everything is going to be inside HTML, but anything that's located outside the HTML tag is not going to work. For example, if I say I want to come and type something here, it's not going to work. I could only type it inside the HTML tag. So the first tag is going to be representing just like the starting of the tag, while the one with a slash is going to representing the ending of the tag. So inside the HTML tag, we have two main tags, which is the head, and then after that, we're going to have the body. So if you notice, they both have opening and closing tag. HTML Visual Studio Code usually helps us with the closing tag. So you can see HTML is the parent tag. Then it has two children, which is the head and body. And if you remember, it has the opening and the closing. The head and the body has to be inside the HTML tag. So now let's head over to the body. Now the body is as well gonna have children. Like I mentioned earlier, HTML has to do with like children. So we can literally for us to add any topic and maybe on a paragraph like a blog, all we have to do is we're gonna use a tag that is called the H1 tag. So this tag is like when you want to write a topic. So just consider it as that. Maybe if you want to write a blog, just come and write the H1, which stands for header 1. So yeah, then the next one is you write your P, which stands for paragraph. Now you can write any text inside the H1 tag and the paragraph tag. So that is what is meant for. So the H1 is meant for like the title or the topic or whatever you want to discuss. You could just name it my favorite food, and here I can come and give details about my favorite food. So let me just say my favorite food is pizza, exclamation. Okay, so this is literally how it works. As you can see, as I hit my save, it's automatically formatted it right. Let me just take it back here. So this is how it was, but as I hit my save, it's arranged it normally. So this is the function of the Prettier I said we should install earlier. So Prettier, once you hit on your save, it arranges it in a good format, and it looks much readable and much more presentable that way. So yeah, this is basically what your first website looks like. You could literally name it anything that you want, like in your header and your paragraph, but they must be inside a header tag and a paragraph tag, and each must have an opening and closing. So now we head over to this side. In order to view it on our browser, right click and you hit on open with live server. This is the live server I said we should install earlier at the beginning of the course. So that's what it's used for. It's used for viewing our code in a browser. So I click on it and it's gonna open whatever default browser you have. And yes, exactly, this is our website. So congrats, you just created your first website or learned how to create your website. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the Visual Studio, minimize it, and move it a bit to the left, while my Chrome is gonna be on the right, so I could type and be seeing my results instantly instead of minimizing and maximizing, and yeah. So as you can see, our code or our text has appeared here. So Visual Studio indeed is like Microsoft Word, just that like you type codes and you have to replace them with a different syntax, which is the styling of writing. So that's what like HTML is about. So yeah, you can see my favorite food. This is the topic, which is exactly what's inside here, and the paragraph is exactly the same. So we can also add another header, which is header 2, and Visual Studio automatically brings in. So you can name this my favorite city, and we're gonna give a paragraph for that. P. I use the P tag, close it. Visual Studio automatically brings in the closing tag. I'll call it Lagos. So with this, once I click my save, it's gonna appear here in the browser instantly. But as you can see, the my favorite city is a bit smaller than my favorite food, and this is because I'm using a H2 tag for it instead of a H1 tag. So the difference is that my favorite food here with the H1 tag means is like the main topic, why the my favorite city is like a subtopic. So that's what the H2 is. And the more you use H3, the smaller it gets. But let me just edit it back to H1. In case if you want to make it the same size, you could as well have more than one H tag. So hit my save and boom, exactly, it's back to the same size with the other one. So let me just go back. You start with your HTML tag, which is the parent, and the HTML tag has two children, which is the head and the body. They all have their closing tags, which is ending with a slash to mark the ending. So this is the children, and boom, it appears here. The body is responsible for the main content of the page. Like I said earlier, all you find in the body is what you find on the page. So for your head, for those of you who might be wondering what is going to be inside your head, so in your head could have the title tag. So the title tag is the literally the name of your website. Is you telling the search engine that this is the name of my site, and I could just name this John's website. So yeah, and once I hit my save, this is what's showing here right now. But once I hit my save, boom, it's gonna appear right here in this section of the browser, which has shown the browser that yes, this is the title of my website, and this is what my website is about. So yeah, that's just basically it's. Congrats, you just wrote your first HTML, and exactly like I said, we start with here. Write the name of your HTML file, then you write your start inside your HTML file. You start with your HTML tag. It's very very important. Everything has to be wrapped into the HTML tag. Then the HTML tag has two children, which is the head, as you can see with the open and closing tag, and the body as well with a slash, which is ending, which shows that is the ending of the tag. Then inside the body we have four children here. The body is the main content of the page. Only thing that you see on the page, everything you see on the page is what is inside the body of the HTML tag. So for you to include any text, it needs to be in the body. You don't just write the text in the body, it needs to be inside the tag. So yeah, that's basically it. So all I'm going to say is you should practice more on this tutorial. you know Coding is not just about just watching videos. You need to practice. So yeah, if you really liked this video, kindly give a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment, and please subscribe to my channel and watch out for the next video for you to get a better understanding.